The developer job market is not at its best state right now, and I'm sure this is not a big news for you. You've probably seen those developers with even tens of years of experiences who are struggling to find jobs in the market. But at the same time, there are also groups of developers who never struggle with anything and never experienced those struggles that everyone is talking about, like not being able to find new roles, being laid off, or all of that stuff. For example, I remember even the wars crash, which was around 2021. I never experienced those struggles. I was able even to land multiple offers during this period of 2021 and 2022. And the difference actually comes down to where you stand in the market, in the categories of developers. There are, for example, developers who are ducks. These are actually the first category who are struggling to find jobs. There are developers who are trying to be the golden goose, and on the other side you have the eagles who never struggle with anything in the job market. And the point of this video is to show you what these categories are, and you probably will understand where you stand in these categories and how to become truly like safe in the market so that you never worry about any layoffs, any market crash, any AI advancements, or all of that stuff. So let's start with the first category that we have here, which are ducks. Like, who is the duck? Duck has a couple of skills, right? They can run, for example, but it's not that fast, right? Because it's just a duck. Like, you can walk near this duck and you'll be faster than it is during its running state. Or it can also fly, but it cannot fly that high. Like, the highest it can fly maybe is around the trees, and that's all. And it can also fight, yeah, like, I mean, it can bite you, but it won't do you anything. If eagle comes in, for example, it can eat this duck alive. What does this mean for you? Like, for developers, this translates to like running can be your tech skills. So these developers are average in tech skills. They are not truly exceptional at anything. For example, they have average architecture skills, they have average soft skills, average interview skills. So everything they do is average. And who is this, who do you think these developers are? Now, these developers are called mid-level developers, right? They don't call you like average to not hurt you maybe, but that's what it means. Like, you're average developer, and they just give you a title, mid-level developer, and that's what mid-developer is. It has a bunch of skills, right? You are good at front-end skills, you are good at back-end skills, but not good, like you're average. You are not really exceptional at anything here. So what happens if the duck gets fired, for example, like the duck developer? Well, no one even notices it. Maybe like right now, if you get fired, will anyone notice in your company? Yeah, maybe it will cause a couple of issues because you did couple of features or bug fixes that only you know about, but it won't take company too long to recover from that. Like, maybe no one even noticed that you have gone. So that's what DUG here is. It stands for like mid-level developers, and they are you can see like the most vulnerable group in this aspect. Like, you can fire them and company will take zero effect. Like when, for example, Elon Musk came into Twitter and he fired 50% of the staff, and these staff were actually ducks. They weren't doing anything special. So after firing them, Twitter, like, it transitioned into X, and then it grew even more. So right now it's even better, at a better state, making more money with less stuff. So that's what ducks are. You need to avoid being here at all costs. Next, you have Golden Goose. This is what many developers try to do to stay safe, in their opinion, in the market. The idea is becoming getting good inside one company's domain. So trying to be, first of all, loyal to this company, really learning their domain and tech stack so that you can do any fixes, any features for them. So the Golden Goose moves up over time. They start, for example, as a mid, then they get to senior, then maybe they've even advanced to tech lead or engineering manager. But there is a problem here, which is you can never become really like truly irreplaceable. That is not possible. Like even the company's founder is able to transition the company to someone else, right? When they sell and exit the company. If the founder can do that, like who are you as a developer? You are just working on the product, no matter how many skills you have, no matter how deep your expertise is. Like especially now with the AI tools, another developer can just come in, give everything in the code base to AI, summarize everything. Maybe he will create a couple of diagrams to understand the flow of the software, of the system you were working on. And within a couple of weeks or maximum a month, he will truly replace you at all aspects. He will know everything that you knew, and then he will continue growing from there. And I've seen this in action as well. Like I've seen many senior developers who were really good at the domain or the tech leads, or even I've seen CTOs who got replaced within a few weeks. And after a few weeks, like the company's life goes back to normal, like nothing happened because the new CTO or the new senior developer now understands everything about the domain, and yeah, he works hard to fill in the gaps that this other developer is who left. This is, for example, similar to like Conor McGregor and UFC. For example, Conor McGregor was at one point the Golden Goose for UFC, meaning he was the best employee of UFC in terms of like their business. So he was the best fighter. He was selling the most amount of tickets. He was doing like most of the pay-per-view, which is called in UFC. He was doing most of the sales there. But what happened to UFC when Conor McGregor left? Because like he got old and now he's retired. But UFC is still there, right? It is running shows, it is selling tickets, and I'm sure it's even bigger at this point when it was around this time, which I don't know, it was probably 2020 or something like that. So no employee can truly become irreplaceable in a company, which brings us to like who is really like irreplaceable or safe in this job market. And that is the eagle type of developers. Who is this? This is a developer who doesn't rely on one tree in case of eagle, which for you means you don't rely on one company. So you are always sharpening your skills. You are always job ready. So whenever your company, you don't like your company anymore, like you don't like the project, you'd like to do a change, you are always job ready and you can move on to the next company within a month, let's say. So these type of developers usually do interviews even when they are not looking for a job. For example, I am doing like interviews every year. There is no year, or I think even like twice in a year I have these periods where I'm doing interviews, even if I'm not looking for the job. Like what's the worst that can happen with this? You might end up getting either a new role, which is paying you more, right? Or you might end up not passing the interviews and learning and improving your skills. So either way, you win in both scenarios, and this is like something I'm doing regularly. It doesn't matter if, and you are also here. You have the opportunity to shoot higher for the salary. You can shoot like even double of your salary that you're earning right now, and you might get an offer. And it happened to me, for example. So some more bonus tips from here. Like obviously this is the best state to be at. You don't want to be loyal to one company. Instead, you need to have your skills sharp always so that you can change your role whenever you don't like your company anymore or you don't like the projects that you're working on. Another bonus tip is, have you ever considered working 2 or 3 projects at the same time? And if not, then why not? Because if you can get one job done, let's say within 4 hours, then you can take 2 jobs if you're doing it fully remotely and earn double of the salary or even more. Most developers, I think, don't consider this, or they think one company might know about the other, but it's never been the case. In my case, for example, I've had periods where I was working at 2 or even 3 companies at the same time and earning triple of the salary, like multi 6 figures. It is definitely possible, and it all comes down to how good your skills are. If you're that good that you can do a job within 4 hours or less, or you can do one job within 2 hours, I had these projects, for example, then you can combine them and do multiple jobs and earn double of the salary or even more. And what's also good about this is if one of the company fires you, let's say you have two projects and one of them does layoffs and now you are fired, you have at least this second one, which will be your baseline until you find the next role. So in that case, your income will never go to zero. It will at least it will decrease by 50%, but then you can spend your time landing another project or just working with this one, maybe have some time off and then do the next project later. And also, as you can see, safety comes from having options and not from having being loyal to the company. The other day, actually, I was in a company meeting, and in this company, I saw Golden Goose, this type of developers that I was talking about. And this guy was really trying really hard to become the Golden Goose for the company, basically. He was asking questions, trying to be active all the time, trying to please the founder, the CTO there. But what you could tell from the faces of the people who were in the meeting, no one gives a shit about this guy. But he was trying really hard to become the Golden Goose. That's why I don't like also becoming the Golden Goose for the company. I'd rather have multiple projects, not be average, but be good at both of them, but not try to go deeper into the domain and become the best developer or some tech lead there. It will take more time from you and you might end up getting fired immediately. And another quick story here about this eagle type is, for example, recently I decided to ask for a raise in the company I was working at the time, which was Teslio. It was still during this month, I left it last week actually. And I knew that they couldn't raise it that much that I would stay. I was expecting 10 to 20%. Actually, after speaking with the guy who I asked for the raise, he said that the maximum it will be somewhere around 20%. And even this 20% usually takes too much time to negotiate. They negotiate it with the founders and then you will have to wait for 1 or 2 months to get a reply. And even in that case, the maximum raises that you can get in these companies are usually 5 to 10% per year, which is it's almost the same as the inflation, right? So your salary stays the same, actually, it never grows. And yeah, it took them a month to make a decision. I'm sure maybe they would decide yes, maybe they would decide no. But I actually decided that even if they increase 20%, I'm not willing to stay. So what I ended up doing is going to another job hunt, doing a couple of more interviews. And I actually ended up landing another offer that is right now more than double of the salary. That was the previous one. So that's all the advantages of being here in the spectrum. And I think this is what you should strive for if you're trying to become truly irreplaceable. You can never become irreplaceable in the market, but you can become the eagle and never worry about being replaced by AI, by another developer, or becoming jobless, because that can never happen to you if you always keep your skills sharp and if you are always growing. And if you'd like to get to this point, to become the eagle, I have a program for developers who are committed to mastery. So you can use the first link in the description to apply. And if you're a good fit, we'll invite you to a call and then we'll see if the program will work for you to get you to a senior role and get you job ready all the time so that you can apply for roles and land better roles with higher paying salaries. That's it. Cheers.